Straight ahead on WBKB, more relaxed guidelines for Michigan workers as they head back to the office.
Plus, some services have moved into Alpena County's new jail and how you can get started as an EMS worker.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Cruz.
And I'm Sherry Stewart. Governor Whitmer announced new changes to workplace safety regulations Monday morning.
The governor says the state is loosening many restrictions at the advice of the Michigan Occupational Safety and Health Administration. Employers can allow fully vaccinated employees to work without face coverings or social distancing. However, they must have measures ensuring non-vaccinated employees follow existing rules. Whitmer also announced changes for specific industries.
Outdoor capacity limits and the curfew on bars and restaurants will be lifted. Indoor capacity will be raised to 50% for all indoor spaces, including stadiums, funeral homes, and wedding venues, among other things.
Employers must also prepare a COVID-19 readiness plan in case of future surges. The easings are part of the first milestone of the Vac to Normal plan, which loosens restrictions based on vaccination rates starting at 55%. Business and housing leaders are asking Michigan lawmakers to vote down two bills they say will allow short-term rental properties to go unchecked.
The Michigan Municipal League says the proposed legislation strips away the ability of local governments to manage short-term vacation rentals in their communities.
Essentially, these bills allow for the unfettered use of regulating, of not letting locals regulate residential properties when it comes to someone buying up single-family homes and turning them into vacation rental businesses.
The league says they're not against short-term rentals. They say, however, different communities have different needs and one-size-fits-all approaches are wrong for Michigan. Proponents of the bills argue short-term rentals are a basic personal property right and homeowners should be allowed to do as they please. Bills in both the House and Senate are scheduled for a hearing this week.
Well, here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. Ellie, happy Monday. How are we looking for this week?
Tyler, happy Monday. The temperatures are warmer where the sun has broken out. In Oscoda, sunny skies reported at 74 degrees, mainly cloudy in Alpena at 62. Plus, we have winds that are coming off of Lake Huron. And in Gaylord, 76 with some sunshine now breaking through. Temperatures tonight will be mainly in the lower 60s. We'll likely end up with overnight lows close to 60 degrees. Temperatures tomorrow morning will be rising into the 70s. A warm and more humid day on the way for tomorrow, with afternoon highs getting into the middle 80s. We'll talk about when to expect some showers and thunderstorms moving into our area a bit later in the newscast.
The rain is coming. Well, a warning tonight to be on the lookout for ticks. Pest.org says Michiganders are seeing more ticks than normal this year. Experts say changing weather may have something to do with the tick overload. Milder winters bring a longer growing season, allowing ticks more time to find a host and then lay eggs. Researchers at Michigan State University say protect yourself against ticks by checking for them on your pets as well as your skin and clothes after spending time outdoors. Alpena County's new jail is now open.
Yes, Sherry, and this month the administrative side of the building moved in, but there's still a few more steps until inmates can move too. The Alpena County Sheriff's Office announced they have moved into their new jail off M32 this weekend. Currently, fingerprints, road patrol, animal control, gun permits, and more services are working out of the new jail.
Compared to the old jail, this is absolutely a beautiful facility. So feels real good to finally be out here. It's been a long haul for us.
The new building cost about $11 million. The county began the design process in 2017 and finished construction this spring after the original roof needed a replacement.
There was an awful lot of time and effort put into the planning and designing of it and getting things rolling, and then now that we're finally here, it sure is nice.
Those interested can view a virtual tour of the new jail. When COVID-19 restrictions ease, the sheriff would like to offer public tours of the building prior to moving inmates in. Right now, just a few more steps need to be complete for inmates to move in and the jail to operate fully.
Right now what we're doing is hiring correction staff. We need to get those correction staff trained. When we get those correction staff trained, we'll be able to move the inmates out here.
The county plans to put the Johnson Street Jail building, where inmates are currently housed, up for bids, and the sheriff expects the new building to be operating fully by the end of summer. You can find more information on what services are now at the new building on WBKB11.com.
If you're looking for career or volunteer opportunities to serve the community, a new partnership with the Alpena Fire Department makes that possible. North Central Michigan College has partnered with the fire department to address the statewide shortage of EMS workers. Fire Chief Bill Forbush says EMS education is not typically available in rural areas. He says it's because of the limited demand. Forbush explains the benefits of this new partnership.
With this partnership with North Central, we'll be able to train folks all the way from coming in off the street to paramedic right here in Alpena. And we're hoping that that will help with the tremendous national shortage of EMS providers that we're experiencing.
Forbush says since 1980, they've run a 24-hour full-time paramedic service for Alpena. He says the partnership between the city and county works well, but there are issues.
Just recently, over the past year, we've gotten to the point that we can't find paramedics to hire for those full-time jobs. And so we've started hiring basic EMTs and providing them with the education to become paramedics.
Michigan's Public Health Department says there are more than 500 EMS job openings. For more information on classes, you can visit our website at WBKB11.com.
That's a nice service.
Absolutely.
One local mental health organization says they've seen an increase in Northeast Michiganders utilizing services during the pandemic. WBKB's Tiffany Maddox has more.
Mental health is those connections that we have with other people, how we view ourselves.
It's something many feel is a taboo subject.
It's really a balance between what we think, what we feel, and our actions.
However, since the pandemic, staff at Northeast Michigan's Community Mental Health Authority say they've seen more people reaching out for help.
Northeast Michigan Community Mental Health has served over 2,000 individuals in the last year.
Hamilton says there are many avenues for therapy.
Help can be in many forms. It could be talking to the people that we love, talking to faith or spiritual leaders. It could be seeing a doctor.
Physician services, outpatient therapy, case management, and even peer support groups are available. Hamilton says there are more than enough resources available to anyone in the area.
So whether it be through Northeast Michigan Community Mental Health or through some other agency or resource in the community, people aren't left alone.
There are many ways to reach out, including calling the Alpena office or crisis line directly at 989-356-2161. Any time of day. While many of us focus on our physical appearance, what's inside counts as well.
Mental health is imperative to everyone, and that we truly are worth that investment.
In Alpena, Tiffany Maddox, WBKB News.
Well, thanks for that, Tiffany. We'll have more information about local resources and financial assistance for services on our website at WBKB11.com. And there's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, Mayor Matt Walagora talks about the city's new fire ordinance, and meteorologist Ellie Morrison has your 7-day forecast.
Way to attract Orioles to your yard. Thank you, Mary, for sending us this photo. And if you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you would like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@WBKB11.com.
And if you throw out cherries, you can get Cardinals to come. Coming up on WBKB News, don't miss Monday with the Mayor, and Jake Vanderbrook will have the latest in sports. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. On this week's Monday with the Mayor, Mayor Matt Walagora talks with WBKB's Tiffany Maddox about the city's recent creation of a fire ordinance that helps address structure fires.
Thanks again for joining us for another Monday with the Mayor. I am joined by City of Alpena Mayor Matt Walagora. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So we'll get straight to our topic. We're talking about fire ordinances. There was recently a fire ordinance that was put into place. It was kind of based off of a fire from May of 2020. Can you kind of talk about how that all came about?
Yeah, sure. So the fire on Washington, it was over a year before, or pretty close to a year before the damaged house was removed, and we don't have a ton of fires, thankfully, that are structure fires to that extent. And over the course of many years, even the ones that we do have usually get taken down in a relatively short period of time. This one was different, different circumstances. We won't get into that, but it just took a long time, and it made us realize that we didn't have a fire ordinance. We didn't have anything to really go by to help it run quicker and smoother. So we, our staff put together a really good ordinance that, and used some other communities that already had some in place, and that'll work with us. And so it basically consists of some timelines that the property owner and/or insurance companies will have to follow in order to get structures either demolished or fixed, repaired sooner. And it also has some parts in there as far as during that period of time, because it does take some time to get the insurance together or whatever the funding is, so to make sure that that home is boarded up and structurally sound and at least safe for the community and the surrounding area.
Okay, and you said that the city kind of researched other area ordinances that were similar to what you all were trying to do. Did you consult with any insurance companies and get any feedback from them, or was this just based solely off of other city ordinances?
Well, thankfully for me, the legwork was done by staff. I would assume that they talked to some insurance companies, probably ours, and our city attorney, to make sure that everything that we wanted to put in place was legal and sounding. And of course, going to other communities, we do that quite frequently, just rather than reinventing the wheel. Find some other ordinance, talk to their staff and their elected officials to see what worked and what didn't work, and then we put it into ours, and it looks to us like it's going to be successful. It should be fine.
Lastly, this definitely will help residents. I'm assuming it'll help residents and keep people safe in a sense.
Yeah, I think it'll help both the resident of the structure fire and most certainly the residents in the surrounding area, and because this last one, of course, we had debris was blowing around. Anybody, sometimes we say children, but basically anybody could have just walked into the building, and who knew when the rest of it might come down at any given time. So this will be super helpful for everybody, including the city residents.
Perfect. Yep, definitely sounds like it will help. Well, I want to thank you again for being with us today, and we'll see you again on the next Monday with the Mayor.
Thanks for that, Tiffany. Within the ordinance, structures must be completely demolished within 120 days of a fire, which includes removing all debris from the site. If an owner is making repairs or rebuilding, they will receive 180 days for that process, and an extension may be granted. Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vandenbroek is in with a preview. Jake, what's going on tonight?
Hey, happy Monday. Next in sports, we have your extra inning top plays of the week. You don't want to miss that. Plus, a few ACC softball players earned postseason honors from.
Thank you for watching WBKB News at 6.
Visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
And join us tonight at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.